I love you. Three of the most simplest words in a sentence, but they carry the weight of the world on their shoulders. These words have the power to change someone's life with ease, but can also help you change by being in love or love being expressed to you. The Fragrant Flower Blooms with Dignity is one of the best slash better love stories that I have read in a while, and still am reading. And I really want more people to check it out because it deserves every bit of support it can get. Without spoiling anything, the basic rundown is that there's these two schools. One is a performing all-boys school, while the other one is a higher-end performing all-girls school. And without getting into the nitty-gritty too much, Rentaro and Kuroko one day meet each other, but little did they know what would happen due to this meeting. Now I know the synopsis of when you read it, and also how it may sound. It just is your basic run-of-the-mill love story that we see time and time again. Boy meets girl, boy and girl fall for one another, even against all the odds against them. Then the very last chapter is a kiss, and then a time skip, and then a happily ever after. You know, the usual things that happens in these mangas. However, there is so much more to this that makes it so unique. And no, I'm not saying this is a deconstruction of romance mangas, but it does do things that make it stand out against the others and its peers. And since I want everyone who watches or listens to this to read it, I won't be doing so many in-depth spoilers, so don't worry. However, there will be a lot of implied things here and there, since talking about certain aspects or some points I can't really get across without, alluding to certain things. One of, if not the biggest thing that makes me love this manga a ton, is the way Rentaro and Kuroko's love is shown, that I personally believe more romance mangas should do, or even romance animes and anything romance related should really take a look at. Yes, the way the love basically starts is pretty normal, but it's really heartfelt when you find out how it all truly begins. Then the way the love grows is something I have a deep fondness for. A good handful of romance animes, mangas, and all sorts, or most romance related things, that I sometimes don't care for is how they handle this aspect of love. Yes, at times people do hit the track running when they fall in love with one another, and there's no problem with that whatsoever, and it happens a lot more than people may think it does, but being in a relationship has a lot more ins and outs than a lot of these stories show us. Most relationships, or at least most healthy relationships, you grow with your significant other. Most of the time, you go from knowing the most minimal things about one another, but attraction is there. Then it moves on to learning more about one another and really showing the type of person you really are. And then that's kind of where love forms from. Rentaro and Kuroko's relationship is a breath of fresh air, because not only do they go through this, they also are each other's biggest support system, which I don't think a lot of romantic shows and stuff like that get right. I would truly hope my biggest supporter in my life is my significant other, and I would hope that the more I get to know them, the more I fall for them. And also, like many things in life, not everything is roses and flowers. There are bumps in the road, like any normal healthy relationship. But it is how you overcome these things together that build that bond even more than it previously was. These two are a prime example of what a relationship should kind of aspire to be like. It's genuine, it feels real. The love that grows between the two of them, from friends to boyfriend and girlfriend to whatever may come next, is something a lot of other stories should take from. But it's also something people can learn a thing or two from as well. Learn more about your significant other. Be yourself. Don't change the person you are unless you're overcoming bad habits. And never give up over an anthill. Work together. Communicate with each other to be a better pair tomorrow. Now, of course, the way love is handled is easily my favorite part, if you couldn't really tell. But if you've been around here for a while, then you know how much I love some good side characters. And when I tell you this cast from top to bottom is 100 out of 10, I mean it. We usually all have side characters that we love, and there's no problem with that whatsoever. But for the life of me, I really can't tell you all what side characters I like the most from the story. Of course, here and there, I'm definitely going to say, oh, I prefer X person over Y person. But what makes it so hard for me to choose is that all of them don't feel like they're put there just to move the story forward. Every character has a purpose, and yes, at times others may get more time here and there than others, but I never feel that they go missing for chunks at a time. And if they do, they come back in a way that makes it right, or just makes sense. And another aspect that kind of makes it hard for me to say, hey, I like this character, is the screen times they get is very significant. It's not like they just disappear. They all get their time to shine, and when they get those moments, they really stand out and always add an extra layer to them. For example, the introduction of Subaru was something I personally won't forget. Because I remember thinking, oh, this person's going to be an issue. She's going to be a problem, or the fork in the road, or whatever it was at the time. I don't necessarily remember it all. But now she's probably is my favorite side character because her introduction was done so well. We got to understand where she was coming from. And her, without spoiling, her backstory is pretty, it's sad, but it's done in a way where her introduction is complete 180 of where she is right now. Like, she has gone through tremendous growth as the story has gone on, and she's still growing. As of chapter 139, she is probably the best written side character as of right now, and there's still more to come, as it's very heavily implied. Even Rintaro's mom, for example, she only appears like here and there. I can't really give you a good estimate how many chapters. It's not a ton, but never once is it out of place when she does appear. And when she's there, she quickly is the highlight of the chapter, and is probably one of the best mom characters probably ever written, or at least that where I've read from. And I really wish I was joking, but a lot of her chapters have made me shed a few tears because she just leaves such a tremendous impact on not only of the type of person she is, but the story as a whole of where basically the backstory of everything of Rintaro himself and how he struggled growing up as a kid. It always speaks volumes to me when characters like this appear, where, you know, we don't see them all the time, but when they do, they leave this huge impact. And at times, this is like one of the rare cases where I think I would almost put the side character bar next to the main character bar, as in who I feel is like the most important to the story. Because in all honesty, I wouldn't even mind if we got a separate side manga just focusing on side characters alone. That's how tremendous and great they truly are. And I think it's another testament to how well written the story has come as well. Love and characters are what make this story amazing, but if you're listening to the audio of this, you may not have noticed, and for the people watching, you may have seen this artwork of this story is absolutely amazing. And to be completely honest with you, it is what was the first thing that drew me to this manga. Someone posted a pic of this on my twit line. I reverse Google search it because they didn't leave any credits of or source to this wonderful piece. And lo and behold, I found this. It's probably one of the best artworks to go with any story that I've seen. It just feels like it captures things really well. And I don't know how to really say this because it's kind of weird, but it's almost like the artwork for it really captures all the emotions on every single page. Like, you can kind of feel the story just from the pictures alone. Like, if I just took away the text completely from certain pages, you could easily tell what is happening on that particular page just by the details, the layouts, the expressions, everything. You can tell everything from a page without reading a single word. It just captures the raw emotions so well in each of the big pages and even the small ones as well. And some of these pages are so lifelike. They're drawn to such great detail. It's astonishing, and it blows me away a lot of the time whenever I read this. I do wish I could talk a bit more about certain things about this manga and why I love it, but I want people to read this on their own, and soon an anime will be airing of it, and I want everyone to check it out so it can get another season, and I would want more books published in English. So yeah, please support this if you can. I may revisit this down the road when it's out for a little bit longer, just to get more eyes on it, and then I may revisit a certain topic I wanted to talk about. But till then, this is where I want to stop this. Please read this series. Please watch the anime when it comes out, because I could gush about this for almost a good while if I really try to. And as usual, I always say, at least try to give it a shot. And if you don't like it, you don't like it. There's no problem with that. But this is it for today. I hope you all enjoyed. If you did, leave a like and comment. Take care of yourself. Have a good day. Drink that water. You're important. Until the next one, I will see you all later.